Hey y'all, welcome to the Life After Hurt podcast with your girl Nicole and Sweeney. Today's podcast is going to cover chapter 1 of Life After Hurt entitled Skate Night. But before we get into today's podcast, I wanted to give a shout out to my fourth niece. For you who are listening, you can't see what I'm wearing, but for those of you who are either watching on my YouTube page or my Facebook page or my Instagram page, you can see that I have on a red t-shirt with Mary J. Blige on the front of it. And for those of you that know me, know I love Mary. So I had to give my niece a shout out. She got this t-shirt for me for my birthday, and she's only 8 years old. So that was so sweet of her. And I wanted to represent Mary, of course, and then just give my niece a shout out. So thank you to my fourth niece for giving me this birthday gift. All right, guys, we are going to go right into the podcast for today. So, as I mentioned, today's topic or chapter is Skate Night. Now, if you haven't ordered the book, you can get your copy off my website at NicoleSweeney.org so that you can follow along. You don't want to be lost, so make sure you get your copy so you can follow along. All right, back to the podcast. Now, Life After Hurt is about a young lady named Journee Black who is a recent college graduate. She eventually returns back home from college and she can't find a job. She ends up getting her bachelor's degree in psychology, and unfortunately, she has been out of school for a year and still has not landed a job. So, all of my recent college graduates out there, I know the struggle is real. So, not only did she not have a job, she did not have a car, she didn't really have a home to call her own, and she did not have any money. So, Journee was struggling. So, in chapter 1, entitled Skate Night, Journee and Izzie decide to go skating together. Now, if you guys listen to the introduction, you will hear about the different characters and about who they are, the four main characters. So, I mentioned in the introduction that Journee and Izzie are best friends. Izzie, like I said, she is brown skin, beautiful hair, beautiful body. She resembles Foxy Brown. She has a great job. She has her own apartment and she has her own car. So Izzie is living her best life, y'all. Now, one day, Journee is just having one of those days. She's having the postgraduate college blues. And Izzie calls her up while she's at work and they have a conversation, and Izzie decides that she wants to take Journee out skating just to get her mind off things because she's really, really in a dark place. Now, what I can say about friendships is that friendships are very, very important. Friendships, they say, are like the family we get to choose, right? And so it's important for us to have good friendships. And that was the relationship Izzie and Journee had. They had a really good friendship. They were best friends. They looked out for each other and they supported each other. And so they're on the telephone talking. Izzie is very comical. She has a great sense of humor. She's hilarious, always making Journee laugh. And she decides that she's going to pick her up from her home and take her skating. So they eventually get off the phone, and Izzie says, "Girl, everything's going to be all right. Talk to you later. Love you." So they hang up the phone, and Journee finds herself just staring in the mirror. She's getting ready and dressed for hanging out with Izzie, but she is gazing into the mirror, looking at herself, but looking through herself. Have you guys ever had those moments where you were just in the bathroom, had a lot on your mind, a lot of things was going on in your life, and you were stressed out, and you were just pretty much not really aware of your surroundings? So that was Journee. So Journee's preparing to get ready to go skating with Izzie, and she gets herself dressed, and then she decides to look for some more jobs, right? So eventually the hour comes where Izzie picks up Journee from the house. So she picks her up, they get in the car, they go to skating ring rather. They arrive at the skating ring, and it's one of the most popular skating rings in Hopeville. They arrive and they see, guess what, ladies? I know you already going to complete my sentence. They see a lot of cute guys. So Izzie is really good at skating, so she could easily show off on the skating ring because she was really good at skating. Now Journee, on the other hand, she knew how to dance really well, but that didn't really translate in the skate life. So they get out the car. Izzie goes to the back of her trunk to get her Impala skates, black skates, and they proceed to walk into the skating ring. So outside of the skating ring are a bunch of fellas lined up, and these three particular guys that were friends were right near the door where Izzie and Journee was walking into. One of the gentlemen looked like Morris Chestnut. Shout out to Morris Chestnut. Another gentleman looked like Mackay Pfeiffer. Shout out to Mackay Pfeiffer. And the last gentleman looked like Lorenz Tate, ladies. Shout out to Lorenz Tate. So they walk in, they see these guys. Izzie has such a bubbly personality. She ends up speaking to the guys. Hey fellas, and they reply back to her. So the Lorenz Tate looking gentleman has his eye on Journee. He looks at her, he bites the bottom of his lip, and guess what? He speaks to Journee. Now ladies, it means something, right? When a gentleman looks at you, bite his bottom lip. Alright, that's another podcast for another day. But he looks at Journee, he bites his lip, and he says hello. Journee was shy, she wasn't in the right headspace, and so she, in her very coyish way, she said hello and just kept it going. So they get inside the skating ring. Izzie finds her locker and gets her skates, but Journee, she's an amateur, so she goes and rents her skates, the peanut butter skates. So anybody that is a skate fanatic knows the difference between black regular Impala skates and the peanut butter skates, the ones you rent. So they are at the skating ring. Izzie is having a good time. Journee is somewhat having a good time, and Izzie is really trying to lift Journee's spirit up, right? Because they homegirls, they friends, they there for each other. So Journee goes around the skating ring a couple of times, but again, she's not in the right headspace. So she gets off the skating ring and is kind of looking at everyone skating, and she's kind of like staring off in a gaze, not really saying anything, kind of looking through and past everyone, not really engaging. So Izzie catches that. So Izzie goes around the skating ring and comes off the skating ring to see what was going on with Journee. So she skates up to Journee and she says, "What's up? What's on your mind?" And then Journee replies and says, "I just need proof. I'm tired of his lies. Something is off." Now, ladies, we immediately know when something is off, whether it's in a relationship or something at work or something in your family or something with your child. We know when something is off. Ladies, never underestimate the power of your intuition. God gave us that for a reason. Never underestimate the power of your intuition. So, Izzie and Journee decide to leave the skating ring. Izzie puts her skates, she takes them off, she goes to the locker, gets her sneakers. Journee goes and puts her skates back because she rented them. On their way out of the skating ring, they run into those three fine men. And of course, the Lorenz Tate looking brother tries to, guess what, y'all? Bag Journee. But she couldn't do it. She wasn't in the right headspace. And plus, he didn't have the answers that she needed concerning her relationship. So, that's where I'm stopping. This concludes our first podcast for tonight, today, whatever time you're watching this. Now, I want you guys to remember, specifically the ladies, today's episode affirmation is never underestimate the power of your intuition. That is all for today's podcast episode. Make sure y'all tune in next Wednesday at 6:30 to hear about Chapter 2, The Ride or Die Friend. Everybody has one of those. Well, I hope so. All right, guys. You guys have a good day, a good evening, a good afternoon. I look forward to you guys tuning in next week. Be sure to purchase a copy of my book on my website at NicoleSweeney.org. If you haven't picked up your copy, you want to make sure you follow along. Also, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify at Nicole and Sweeney. All right, guys, you take care. You have a great, great day. And remember that God is proud of you. Bye.